the earth is not flat. So yesterday I met people who actually believe the earth is flat. I had no idea that there are people like that. No clue. I was actually quite shocked. I know people are skeptical about a lot of things, but I didn't really think that there is actually a society for the flat earth which was started in the 1920s. So there's actually a society of people who believe that the earth is flat. And that was shocking to me. The idea that the earth may or may not be flat has been going on for some time. But from about 1530, 1540, evidence to the effect that the earth is actually round started coming in. So we've known about, or we've had evidence of the fact that the earth is not flat since the 1530s. And even before the 1530s, there was still a belief that the earth is round, but there was not the evidence, or the evidence had not yet been confirmed. But in 2017, to meet people, and there were like 3 or 4 of them, and they were all arguing against the fact that, they actually believe all the missions to the moon, to Mars, and all that is all fake and made up by NASA, the American government, and other governments. They think all these things are fake, that the science education has been deliberately teaching people about an earth which is a globe, and that they are wrong, and that the earth is actually flat, and I think a giant tortoise is carrying it. So when I asked them questions about why they don't tip over, they said, oh, we don't tip over because there's a ring of ice. I'd never heard such things. I've been a scientist for a long time. I've been teaching physics as well for some time now. And basically they said, what you've been teaching is lies. You've been teaching, the science you've been teaching is not accurate. I was surprised, I was shocked. I even made a video, I read out the whole conversation. I just made sure I didn't mention anyone's name because I didn't talk to them prior to making the video. So what do you think? Do you think the earth is flat? It's shocking. It's really, really, really shocking to think there are people who think that. And there is a society of people who believe, and they've got these videos which supposedly show that the earth is flat. But I looked at one of the videos and it was just a guy in a hot air balloon with a camera, a poor homemade amateur video, and that video is supposed to prove that there is an edge to the universe. They don't even talk about the universe, okay? They think everything there is just a flat earth, the sun and the moon. They couldn't tell me about the stars. They couldn't tell me that. It's a very narrow view, to be honest. And it's worrying that in 2017, with all the information that we have, with all the body of scientific knowledge that we've accumulated over hundreds of years, that there are people who still believe that the earth is flat and that you could actually fall over if you go over the ring of ice. I said, how do you explain day and night, and how do you explain the seasons? They didn't want to answer those questions. They say they base their theory on observation. That is, if they look for a very long distance, they don't see the curvature of space or the curvature of the earth. But if you've been to the beach, if you've seen ships coming in from a distance, okay, you can see that they slowly begin to show. Okay, the first thing you see is the mast and the flag and all that. Then eventually you see the entire ship or boat. And if it's moving away from you, you eventually see it disappearing as if it's going over a cliff. And then we've got images from the moon, which show that the earth is round. But people still think the moon was fake, it was done in a studio, blah, 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 conspiracy theories. Amazing. Then I say, so how does satellite television work? They said, it's just underground cables, and it's satellite dishes which are strewn all over the earth, and that's what's causing, or that's what's helping with telecommunications in terms of the internet and television. But I think it's not the fault entirely. I think it's the fault of people like myself who have not done enough to really bring science to the public. I think science is still not in a state where it can be consumed or it can make the public excited enough to comprehend it at a basic level without going too deep into the equations and all that explain the phenomenon. I think we need to bring it or to present it in a way that people can actually understand. Okay, so I'm shooting this video using an iPhone, and it's using the Wi-Fi network in order to enable me to go live. So we need to understand such things as to where this Wi-Fi network is coming from, how it works. Those are the sort of things that we should be talking about. And climate change, obviously. And this group of people also say, even Trump said it. Now, anyone who listens to Trump's ideas on climate change will know that he's not a credible source for scientific knowledge. He's not the sort of person you can say, just because Trump said it, therefore it must be true. So it's really worrying. This idea of hashtag alternative facts, fake news, I think it's really making people try to wake up. So I think I'm going to leave it here for now. But it's a worrying situation, and one which must be addressed. And I think you will see more and more of ask me physics questions, ask me science questions, and I'll answer them right here. Because I think there's an interest. Like, some friends are genuinely not sure why we don't seem to be upside down across the globe, even though we are said to be all standing upright. How come the person who is down below or opposite me does not feel like they're upside down? I think those are questions that we can answer. And the simple answer to that is that the earth has a core, it has a center, and the force of gravity is acting towards that center. And so we are sort of stuck to the earth because we are being attracted by the force of gravity, which is acting towards the center. Okay, so that's why. And also we've got a sense of balance in our brains, which help us to realize when we are upside down and then to correct that. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with more science videos.